Hi, I'm Russell Delaney with ESBService.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to mount the model SL12 Light Your Way compact light fixture. So we already got it unpacked right here, and first off it's important to note the difference between the top fixture and the bottom fixture. The bottom fixture is the one with the power cord coming out this side here. The top fixture has the wire harness coming out this side but no power cord. So what we're going to do is, in this demonstration, we're going to mount it right into the studs. I'm not going to use wall anchors. I'm going to go right into the studs, which would be the preferred method. So everything is going to be based off of our lowest point, and then it's going to go up from there. What we need to do is we need to establish the lowest point and then mount it fixed into that position, and then we need a certain distance for the lamps to go between the bottom fixture and the top fixture for it to all fit together. So in the owner's manual there's some diagrams that show you the layout and provide you with some dimensions, and there's step-by-step instructions that you want to read through. But at the very back inside cover, they give you the dimensions here for the mounting points. The width is, of course, 16 inches, so you have the centers of your studs. And then when you have the bottom point figured, you're going to see that from the outermost set of holes, it calls for 76 5/8 inches. And then on the inner sets of holes, the distance is going to be 67 9/16. So what I've done here is that I've already plotted that out based on the lowest point being the top of the baseboard here. So I set it on there, and then also, of course, what I did was I used a stud finder to make sure that I knew exactly where the centers of the studs were before I would go and drill into there. Now, when you use that, you need to know what you're doing. You need to make sure there's no plumbing, electrical, or other fixtures behind the wall that you're mounting to. So when you also are going to want to have a level to make sure everything is level and proper there and secure. So I'm going to show you here where I've already pre-marked the holes. There's 4 for the bottom and 4 for the top fixture, and like I said, I already pre-marked them according to the measurements given in the manual. I'm going to set this aside a second and be very careful handling these pieces. Especially these mounting tabs are kind of thin, so I have it lined up here, and it's best to do the top set of holes first rather than the bottom set. If you were to do the bottom set, then it could fold forward and you could possibly damage something. Now, most importantly, you want to be careful around these plastic lamp holders and these acrylic clips right here. So I've got it all lined up here on this side, and using my cordless, I'm going to just screw it in to the top mounting tab. Don't over tighten it. There's a little keyway on the top, and that's where you need the screw to go in, through the keyway. Now I'm going to do this side. I think a very important consideration too, when you're figuring the bottommost point here, you want to be able to make sure to get your drill driver right in there. So you might have to go up a little higher depending on how much room you have. So here I'm going to screw in on the top left side of the bottom fixture. Go real easy, those last few steps. So now I'm going to get under here, and I'm going to do the bottom one on the right side. And then the last one on the left side, bottom here. Okay. Now I have, again, I mark these holes so I know where they need to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the top one into position here. Now you want to have it lined up. Obviously you don't want to drop it. It's probably best to have a helper at this stage. But when you have it lined up here, you have to make sure, again, that it's nice and level. Oh, I'm going to go and grab my step stool. So it's nice to have a magnetic level. Now, that's well lined up and it's level, so that's where we want to screw it in at. Again, it's important to do the top ones first, because if you were to do the bottom ones, then the unit could bend forward while you're still working on it. So I'm going to go into the top hole here on the right side through the keyway. Now I'm going to do it on the left here. Be sure to line up the hole with the keyway. Okay, nice and level, center. Going to get the next two screws. Okay, now we'll do the last one on the lower bottom corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to start installing the lamps. Now you have to be careful because of the acrylic clips at the top and the bottom. For the first and the last lamp slot. So you have to come up on the top first and then come at the bottom and then push that one in place and give it a quarter turn, and there you go. Now you have to work around that acrylic clip when you're doing that. Be very careful. So there are two pins on either end of the lamp, and they slide from the front to back in the sockets, and you just give it a quarter turn, and it'll hold it right in place. So again, at the top, and then at the bottom, and twist it in place. You're going to want to do this for lamps 1 through 10. And then you're going to want to leave the 11th one out of the slot until you can carefully get the 12th one into place. Again, that's because of the acrylic clip on the top and bottom all the way to the right. So remember, after doing the 10th lamp, leave the 11th one, carefully get the last 12th one into place, and then you can get the 11th one last into place. You can also start at the bottom and then finish at the top, but sometimes it's a lot easier to do them separately. You can do the top and then do the bottom and then twist it into place. It needs to be seated all the way in before you twist it. If it doesn't feel like it's rotating easily, then make sure, again, it's seated properly first before rotating it. Now we've just completed the 10th lamp. So then we will now install the 12th last lamp into its socket, enabling us to use some of the space where the 11th lamp would go to work around the acrylic clips. You may have to do a little bending slightly. Carefully it will go into place, and then last we'll do the 11th lamp, starting again at the top, and then we'll click it in at the bottom, rotate it in place, and that's all good and secure now. So we'll go ahead and plug the unit in. It plugs into a standard 120 volt outlet as long as you have at least 8 amps of current available. Here's a new acrylic. When you go to install it, there's a protective film on both sides. So you want to peel off the film. If it comes shipped new, it's going to be rolled up. So you want to lay it flat for a while. Let it straighten out. So peel the film off of the front. Flip it over to the back. Peel the film off of that. Okay, so now that we have the film removed from the acrylic, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the unit. So in the manual, they tell you if you got enough room from the side, you can just come in from here and line it up with the acrylic clips and slide it all the way across. If you don't have enough room, you can just come a few inches shy of the clips that are on the left side and then slide them in there, just past the ones on the right side, and then slide them to there, to the right. Alternatively, if you're very careful about it, you can just set the acrylic into the bottom acrylic clips, center it, pick the acrylic, and just flex it a little bit down, and then insert it into the top clips. And there you go. So that would be it. The unit would be ready for use. When you plug it into a standard 120 volt outlet, the power switch is down at the left corner, and turn the switch on, and there you go. The unit's ready to go. So if you have any questions, please contact us at esbservice.com. Thank you for watching. Hope you like it. Please like, comment, and subscribe.